Yeah, good morning, everybody. And I think it's great that the European tree family is again together. And I will tell you something about the European Tree Assessment Standard. And as you already know, this is the logo what we have for all the standards, and all the standards are co-funded by the European Union. So we have, that is a team of the authors. The leader is Jarek, you already heard him, and he is the engine and the power for that. So I think without you, Jarek, it wouldn't work. And you see, we have a lot of colleagues here from different countries. And I want to tell you, the problem is we are writing a European standard in English, and nobody of us is a native speaker. When you look to this is the cover of the standard of the draft, and when you have a closer look to the words in the different languages, then you see we talk about Baumkontrolle, Baumuntersuchung, so further investigations. In the Netherlands, they only say Baumkontroll. This covers everything, but we have also something like assessment or inspection or diagnostic. And when we start to work, everybody had to write a draft for a certain chapter of the standard, and so we had confusing words. So when we started, we said, okay, tree assessment, yes, we do it everywhere in Europe, of course. But then people talked about tree inspection, we talked about global tree assessment, about tree investigation, the basic assessment, further investigation, advanced assessment, tree analysis, evaluation of trees, tree inventory, tree research, and also a lot of things we had to talk. So we had hard discussions, but in most of the time we were in good mood, I can tell you. So then with the drafts, a lot of models came up, and we talked about diagrams like that, and something like that. Okay, it's interesting, we learned a lot, but this is not something what you can give a tree assessor to say, okay, look to the tree, is that okay? And especially this is coming from the French guys, the clinical model, and with separate hypotheses and so on. And from Germany, we have also guidelines. We are famous for making guidelines, the Germans. So we have the Baumkontrollrichtlinie, that means the basic tree assessment, and then we have the Baumuntersuchungsrichtlinie, so that is the deeper investigation. And in Germany, we make clear, first you have to look at the whole tree, and then if you cannot come to a final for a final recommendation, you have to go deeper with some technique. And then another point was, everybody in the group, when we talked about tree assessment, had different trees in their mind. Here, this is the old tree. A lot of people are thinking just about that. So, oh, you have to use a hammer and a binocular and this and that. That is usual, you have to use it. But in a municipality or at the roadside, we have trees like that. We also have to make a kind of tree assessment. But there, you don't use a hammer or a knife or whatever. So the tree assessment standard has to be true for the whole tree, for all our trees we have in our urban area. So at the end, we came out with a structure for tree assessment for the standard. Of course, the first chapter says something about the purpose and the content of the standard. Of course, we need some normative references, and we have to say something in general about system of tree assessment. And that was also a discussion, the site description. Do we just talk about the tree, or has it something in connection with the site? And we are not at the end in this discussion, but I think we will find a solution. But most of us said we have to say something about the site description, about the risk of what's going on there in the area and so on. And then now in chapter 5 we are coming with the basic tree assessment. So we made the decision, all what we are doing is assessment, not inspection or not research or not investigation or whatever. It's assessment, but we divide into 2 steps: the basic tree assessment and the advanced tree assessment. In my opinion, that's really important. When I give a course or I have students in a test, and I ask, what you want to do, what do you see with here at the tree? Then he said, I would like to fell him. Boop, no. Or I like to use a resistograph or make a pulling test. Or what. No, first you have to look from all sides and have to tell what you're seeing, and not only defects. And then, if you're, if you think, well, I have no final decision for that tree, I make the advanced assessment. This is this is the second step, to check the tree with different tools. And then after that we will come to the risk-benefit analysis, and we give management recommendations. And then on the management level we will come to the cost-benefit analysis. This is part of that. And then we have 2 annexes, the tree inventory. In the first draft, we had the tree inventory as a part of the tree assessment. But the inventory is, where's the tree, the GPS data, what is the name of the tree, how thick is the tree, and so on. This can be done by people without any knowledge or very little knowledge about tree assessment. These are the basic data. It's part of the tree assessment, but it isn't the tree assessment. It sounds like we are just talking about words, but it's really important what is what. And the tree assessment in the basic and the advanced tree assessment, we are saying something about what is the risk, what is the benefit of the tree. And so therefore we decided to put it into the annex. The next point, we just say something about the limits of device-supported methods. A lot of people in our industry, they believe in machines. The machine says 6.5 and that's good or bad, I don't know. But we always have limits. And we make no recommendations, use this or that, but we say, be careful, there are limits. This is what we put into the standard. We also tried to make clear in such a diagram what we are talking about. So we have the tree inventory, it's in gray, that means it's part of it, it's the first step, but it's not it is not the assessment. Then we have observations. We work with our eyes. We talk about the physiology, the biomechanics, the benefits, value, and we have an interpretation, of course. This is the basic assessment. And after the basic assessment, we will come to risk-benefit analysis. We come to the management recommendations, and then the cost-benefit analysis, and we have an intervention or no intervention. That's the end of the whole process. And in some case, you can have, after the basic assessment, you will have no real risk-benefit analysis because there are insufficient data or you have doubts. So then you will come to the advanced assessment. This is in most cases device-assisted. And then you will come to the risk-benefit analysis. So it's a kind of a bypass. And we don't start with that, especially the industry, the producer of machines. They say, take that. This is what you need, and then you don't need a consultant anymore. That will do the job. No, for most of the trees, we have a basic assessment and observations, and we go through to the recommendations for the intervention or no intervention. So in another way to explain, so we have the tree inventory, the basic advanced, the basic assessment, the advanced assessment, and we all the other words are not in the standard. What you can use for that, we have the risk-benefit analysis, the management recommendations, cost-benefit analysis, and then intervention or no interventions. What is true for the most of the trees we have? We always talk about the problems of trees, but no intervention is true in most cases. At the end, some comments about the standard. When we talk about people in Europe about these standards, some say in our country we are just beginners. And this is too complicated for us. It's too much information. Other, like in France, for example, or in Germany, they say we have very good own recommendations, and there's no need for an extra one. But I must say, when we have the education for European tree technician, European tree worker, and the people we educate, they shall work in the same way all over Europe. We need a European standard. We cannot use a single national guideline for something, so we need it. So it is time that we have European standards to come together to harmonize the methods and also the philosophy within Europe. And I must say, with the European Arboricultural Standards, we are on a good way. We are on a very good European way. Thank you very much.